Welcome to our channel. Thanks for tuning in. Today we have a special guest. This guy is one of my biggest inspirations. He's a UFC legend, one of my brother's biggest inspirations.
Absolutely.
We're just so humbled and grateful that he stopped by today. We got Max Pain Griffin. Yes, Max.
Oh yeah.
We can't believe it, man. So we finally, we talked about doing this for a long time, and it finally came together. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah,
No, totally. Happy to be here. You guys been doing it too for a long time. I'm happy to be here.
man. So we've been watching your rise. Like you obviously been doing this for a long time. You said you've been fighting for how long now, altogether?
14 years.
14 years. And like, we were talking about earlier, they say, after doing something for 10 years, 10,000 hour rule, you pretty much become a master of your craft.
And multiple wins in a row, especially the last 3.
Yeah, you're on a 3-fight win streak.
Yeah.
So you have 3 championships outside of the UFC?
I might have more than that. I know I have like 9 belts.
Damn,
man.
That's what's up.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what I find cool about your background is that you started off with martial arts, right?
Yeah.
How'd you get into martial arts?
I started when I was 4 years old. My dad took me. I went 6 days a week. And at that time, it was, I want to say, Jay Kane's Kung Fu Karate. It was Bak Fu. It was a mix of Kung Fu, Karate, Taekwondo, Judo, some Japanese Jiu-Jitsu. So, it was kind of a mix of all the arts, because Taekwondo, they can't punch for nothing, but they have really good kicks.
Right.
And Judo, their strikes aren't that good, but that's how great throws. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
they kind of picked and choose the techniques. So I did that for a while. The Ninja Turtles were also out, and big fan.
Which one was your favorite?
I liked all of them. They all had good attributes.
Yeah.
Ernie Reyes Jr., I was just thinking about, he was Donatello, I think, right?
I think so. We loved Ernie Reyes back in the day.
Ernie Reyes, he used to be in like Black Belt magazine.
Yeah.
He was in a lot of, movies and stuff. And he really inspired me to get into karate. And a little background on us, like my dad had a martial arts boxing and kickboxing school up in Reading. And so we've been in martial arts, kind of like you, just pretty much all our lives we've kind of been around it.
And that's how we first met Dave Marinoble when we were little kids.
Dave and Mike.
So way back in the day. Because
Nice.
our dad and Dave were buddies back in the day.
Really?
Yeah. It's kind of a small world, but
Yeah, so our dad, he used to do kickboxing events over at the Wind River Casino.
yeah.
We got to get some
used
rounds
to-
in. We got to get some rounds in.
Yeah. You used to do kickboxing too, right?
Yeah. I used to kickbox all the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I came up kickboxing,
Yes.
Did you kickbox for Dave or
So
the Madman?
I did that when I was young, right?
Yeah.
Like 5 to 13. I did that. Like all the katas, the weapons. Like I was badass.
Dope,
Sparring, all the point karate and
Yeah.
sparring. I was
Nice.
Sick.
good. They wanted me to go to the Olympics, but I think it was like every 4 years then, and I was
Yeah.
getting sick of it. About to go to high school. Like I'm done with all this karate shit.
Yeah.
So, quit that. Went back when I was 21 though. Had I had an epiphany. I was at a music festival, Reggae on the River.
So
Okay.
In Humboldt. It was so
yeah.
lit. But I was doing security out there with a bunch of friends. We'd walk around the island, or not the island, but the whole property, and how's everybody doing? Everyone was out there, was so generous. The nicest people in the world are out there. Anyway, we're all hanging out in a circle, chilling. At the end of the night,
yeah.
and I hear a voice, and it's like, "You're gonna fight when you get back." And I look like, what? like to myself, and then it was like, "You're gonna fight when you get back." You know, I was like, "All right." So then I told everybody, I said, "Hey, everybody, I'm gonna start fighting when I get back." And they're like, "What? Really?" And I was like, "Yep." And then I did. I went back. I think I came back on the weekend. There was like a rib festival.
Yeah.
That weekend at Wrigley Field. And I seen some dude I used to like train with back in the day there. I was like, "Oh shit. I'm gonna start fighting." He's like, "Really?" And then I seen him start training, and then ended up going back to Dave Marinoble's gym. So back then, when I was at United Kung Fu Karate and Jay Kane's Kung Fu Karate, Marinoble then was bad man. That's when he was a pro. You know what I mean? He was multiple time world kickboxing champion, master, man. He's a killer.
Yeah, madman.
Yeah, madman.
Shout out to Dave.
Shout out to Marinoble.
Marinoble. Yeah.
I remember we watched a lot of his fights. Him and his brother Machine Gun.
Yeah. And Machine Gun Mike. Shout out to Mike.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, no, those guys were awesome. And they had, like you said, they had these reputations back then. And so it was always exciting to watch those guys fight because they were always like either like the co-main or the main event.
High level.
Usually, if they were on the card.
Yeah. So I went back to his gym, and I was 237 pounds. I was a fat boy. I was so big, I was looking in a photo album one time. And this dude was sitting next to my mom. And I'm like, "Who the F is that?" And I looked, and it was me. I didn't even recognize myself. Yeah, I was 237 pounds, bro.
At 21 years old? Or?
Yeah, I worked at Round Table for 3 years.
Round Table's fire.
Yeah, dude. I worked at Round Table for 3 years.
Yeah.
I started washing dishes there. I washed dishes for 1 day.
Yeah.
I washed the hell out those dishes.
Yeah.
The best they've ever seen, dishes and everything cleaned up, all that.
Yeah.
They walk back there like, "We're going to need you to do something else." So I moved up fast. I was supervisor, and I was like assistant manager.
Yeah.
And I was in charge of that thing. So I had pizza every day for 3 years. We made stuff.
What was your favorite pizza
we made stuff. A pizza we made good though. A pizza with white sauce.
Yeah.
Cheese.
Bacon?
Let me plot this out. We ripped apart the buffalo wings. Ooh. We ripped that apart.
Yeah.
Like, ripping the pieces and put that on top.
That sounds fire.
That does sound fire.
And then I think you put green onions, tomatoes, red onions, maybe. I don't know. The shit was heat though.
Yeah, Round Table always has a good ranch too.
Oh, dude. Round Table has the best ranch ever. Yeah. I haven't found a better ranch than Round Table.
Well, you said something earlier I want to ask about because you said you heard a voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? And it was like calling you, like
you're doing
telling you to fight.
Yeah.
Can you kind of unpack that a little bit? Like what was that about? Was that
I don't know.
Like a voice of like a conscience or something, or like a voice like this is what
I'd
you
say
need
the
to do?
universe. I'd say the universe.
Was it? I mean, were you in search of okay, what is it that I truly love, and what am I gonna do? Because you grew up fighting, you grew up training, and then you said you kind of quit for a while, and then kind of you had an epiphany, and it came back to you. So you're like, was it because you were kind of battling on what to do with the future, or you already kind of had it figured out?
I mean, I didn't think I was going to be fighting, but I mean, I did used to watch fights. I mean, don't get me wrong, I not used to watch fights. I used to watch the old Tank Abbotts and the old UFCs, old Prides. And when I watch them, like, I'd be like critiquing them, like, "No, he should have did this, or you put your hand down, or he hit him in the body." You know? Like, I'm like, you know, I did a lot of critiquing of them.
That's interesting because as you're saying that, like, I'm thinking, okay, that's exactly what I do. And that's what I love watching fights. And I could tell you're a real fan of the fight game, even though you're in it, you still love watching it, and you always put up like your predictions and stuff.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So going back to, like you said, it started with just watching fights. You knew you had like some kind of ability, right? Some kind of innate
natural fight.
I was really good. I was really good when I was young, man. I didn't start fighting just to be like a local. No disrespect to any of the local guys or, you know, anyone, you know, that hasn't made it big. But I only joined to make this shit big. I've only been here to be one of the best in the world, and that's it. Like, that's what I was like mentally. Like, I'm doing this because I'm going to be one of the best in the world ever. That's why.
And when you said you came back and you were 20,
flat out, like I had that vision. Like it wasn't small potatoes to me.
Okay, so you
mentally you're already like,
this is it. You visualized.
I know how good I am. I know how good I was and how much I could do. Yeah. So I knew it. I wasn't here to be, you know. I mean, I fought. I mean, amateur. I mean, I fought so many fights. Kickboxing, like you said. I've smoker fights.
Yeah, how old were you when you were doing the kickboxing?
I did the kickboxing when I was old, right when I got back.
Oh, so you're doing it all, like you said.
Yeah. When I came back, I was doing pancration. I was doing kickboxing. I was doing jiu-jitsu. But most of my kickboxing, smoker amateur fights, I did a lot of stuff behind closed doors because MMA wasn't legal.
Yeah,
right. MMA wasn't legal.
Yeah,
it was only legal for pros, no amateurs.
In California, right?
Yeah, in California. Yeah, that's where I live. Yeah. So it's like,
so you had to travel then, right? To
I used to fight. I was the Ultimate Reno Combat Champion. I fought in Reno. Nice. That was pretty dope. They were the #1 organization in the world for amateurs.
That's what's up.
So I did that, and then I went up and fought in Oregon, brass knuckles. Racist ass.
Oh, damn.
Damn. Springfield, Oregon, bro.
Dang.
They were saying all kind of stuff to me. But I fought this guy that it was actually my debut, my first fight. We were out there. This guy had he was 2-0, and each fight he threw one punch and knocked the guy out. Went out, overhand right, knocked the guy out. So I fought that guy. My first fight.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I go out there. He hits me with that right, but I eat it and then just bust him up, kick him in the head, hit him on the fence. I finish him in like under a minute probably.
Yeah.
I run into the fence. Crazy. I'm like, but they were saying all kind of stuff to me after that.
And so how do you deal with that? Like, I mean, just, you know, being in that environment, you know, it's super important to stay laser focused, you know, when you have a fight in front of you, but with all that noise and stuff, how do you cancel that out?
It gets bigger, man. I mean, I mean, that's small time compared to, I mean, I fought in Mexico City, when Trump was being elected. I had a American flag. I fought in different countries, you know. It's different. Like
what's it? I mean,
different countries.
Yeah.
Like hate you.
That's
People don't understand. People don't understand. People don't understand. Like America, you know, we're cool. They don't get it. Like, if you're from a different country and you're fighting their guy, if you're in Mexico, you're fighting a Mexican.
Yeah.
And you're not Mexican, like you're getting booed, like they hate you. It's like a national thing. It's more like a soccer kind of rivalry.
So
like,
I mean, do you just block that out when
I perform better when
they're doing that.
When they do that, it like shuts them up. Like
mentally just
I mean, it's cool, you know. I mean, I fought in Orlando against Mike Perry.
Yeah.
He's from Orlando.
Yeah.
I fought Eliza Zaleski dos Santos in Brazil. He's from Brazil. I fought Thiago Alves from Brazil in his hometown. I fought the Mexican guy. He was the Mexican Ultimate Fighter winner.
Yeah.
In Mexico City, in Mexico. Fought him. So I've been fighting. I'm in enemy territory. Yeah. I like it though because it shuts him up.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't like shutting people up.
Yeah, no, I mean, it seems like your career, I mean, since you've got into the UFC, it seems like you've had no easy battles. Like
you fought
from the get. It's like
tough guys.
Yeah, and
even your
Colby
last
Covington's fighting for the title.
That's right. That's right.
He's when he fought Colby.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, you fought Condit.
I heard
Colby was the first guy that you fought in the UFC.
In the UFC.
I mean, what was that like? Because I remember, watching it was an interview that you did with MMA Weekly, and you talked about the loss to Colby and how you said that you needed that loss and it helped you to level up. Can you talk about that?
Yeah. So I get signed to the UFC. It's the UFC 202, which is the Conor McGregor, Nate Diaz Part 2. It was a madhouse, like madhouse. So for me to be that's my first fight, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's fight nights right, but that card was arguably one of the biggest cards ever.
Yeah.
Anyway, I get there, signing posters. I'm thrilled. I've been waiting to be in the UFC my whole life, right?
Yeah.
And I knew I was gonna be here, right?
Yeah.
I knew it. Like I told you, like was here to be Gladiator Challenge champion. I wasn't here to be just West Coast fighting champion. I want to be one of the best. I want to be the UFC champion, and I want to be one of the best ever.
Yeah.
I want to do what I do for a living, and that's what I'm doing right now.
That's what's up.
So, it's working.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, so that interview you did about the loss to Colby and how you said it helped you to level up. So can you talk about that?
Thanks for bringing me back to where I was going with that. So I thought I was focused, but I wasn't. Even when I was signing posters, I wanted pictures. Okay. It was like a dream when I was there. It was like a dream. Take a picture. I'm signing pictures with Rumble Johnson and Rick Story.
Yeah.
Rumble's talking about his dog. He got his like dog papers. And, if you need papers, what a yada yada. He got them and all this stuff. I'm like, take a picture. I'm like, take a picture. Talking to my corner, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was, we're walking around. Nate Diaz and them are there. It's just a really cool, like surreal thing.
Yeah.
Really, because I knew I was gonna be in the UFC, and then to really be there on that big of a thing.
Yeah.
I remember being in the ring. I mean, I felt ready. I remember in the locker room, Donald Cerrone's in there with his cowboy hat playing like country music, and like it was just crazy.
That's dope, though. That's dope.
You know what I mean?
In there, yeah.
But can you imagine?
Yeah.
Can you guys imagine that?
That's crazy. That's
like,
crazy.
this is really happening.
Yeah.
And that's to me it was surreal. Even walking out, being in the ring. I mean, the hard thing was not the hard thing, but I remember Bruce Buffer. It's time.
Yeah.
He's in there, like really being there. The camera,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Max Pain.
Max Pain Griffin.
So you're in there, right? And like you're really in there. Like you really are in there.
Yeah.
All the crowd. I fought. It was just so fast, and but I dropped him and almost Kimura'd him. I fought pretty well against him. If you look at what he's done to everyone he's fought since me, he's terrorized everybody. But me, I'm the best that's fought him since like Usman fucking put it on him or whatever. Mm-hmm. I did well against him, but now I know how to beat him. So anyway, so I lose this fight, right?
Yeah.
I remember seeing. I couldn't see after the second fight when I went to the corner. It was like yellow glass. Like yellow glass. And he hit me with the elbow at the end of the round.
Oh,
Split me. But I couldn't see.
Yeah.
I saw everything. It was like yellow glass. I go back to the corner. I don't say anything. I don't say I can't see.
Yeah.
I'm not dumb. It's how they'll call the fight so fast.
Yeah.
Anyway, keep fighting. But yeah, he pinned me. I got a TKO, but I would just pin. He had my arm pinned on the cage. Anyway, I get back. I lose a fight, but I remember in that moment, I remember seeing myself from like a bird's eye view. Like it was weird. I remember like seeing me from like a bird's eye view, looking at the corner. It was weird. I don't know. It was like an out of body thing. It was all quiet. It was weird. I'm trying to explain. Anyway, lose a fight, come back. Lose a fight, but I go home, right? Nothing seemed real. Like I have a magazine, like UFC 202. Like I'm in it. I have my UFC shorts. Like, I have the gloves. Like, I'm at home. Like, I felt crazy. Like, am I in the UFC? Like, did this really happen? Like, I'm in my apartment by myself. Like, what the hell, you know?
Yeah.
So I hit this psychologist up that I know, Dr. Bregman, and I went in there and was like, yo, am I crazy or what's going on? So I, was talking about the experience, and I wasn't focused, I was focused on everything else. I thought I was focused, but as I explained everything that I explained, I wasn't focused, So I had to go wash a plate. I had to go home and wash a plate. I had homework. I had to wash a plate for like 10 minutes a day or whatever.
This is the psych had you do this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go home and wash the plate. I'm like, wash the plate. Your mind will drift when you wash a plate. Your brain goes to dinner. Your brain goes to who you're going to call next. Your brain goes. It goes. Our minds they don't just stay where they're supposed to go. Like your consciousness. So wash the plate. And then when you feel it starting to go, you pull it back and look back at the plate, and you'll feel it go.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's a crazy technique. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
But I started doing that, and then I was able to really focus.
Yeah.
So that's basically I wasn't focused, and that's when I went to Mexico City, fought the Ultimate Fighter winner of Latin America. So he won. He was good in Mexico.
Yeah.
And I knocked him out in like under a minute. I was focused that night.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Ran on the cage. Like, I needed that because when I could focus, that's what I could do.
Yeah. And
you doubt yourself. I mean, you go to the UFC, you lose your first fight. You're like, am I good enough? Am I not?
Right.
Like, is this the big leagues? I mean, how many guys lose? Some get spit out. How many guys get cut? All kind of guys. The UFC average years is like 2 years, a year or two.
Yeah.
Like a year and a half is how long like the regular UFC, like
the pros like the
life expectancy of like a fighter in that, without being cut or whatever,
Yeah.
Wow.
It's hard to be here. The guys are so good.
Yeah.
We're the best.
Well, I remember
It's true. You guys are you guys are the elite, the top of the top. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I remember GSP talking about the being the mental part of it and the physical part of it, where he said when you're training for a fight, it's 90% physical, 10% mental, and then when you're actually in the ring under the lights and it's go time, he says it's 90% mental, 10% physical. Would you agree with?
Or do you think that's changed at all?
Or is it changed? Because obviously we know you're mentally strong, and you're on a tear right now. I mean.
And to compete at this level, you have to, do not only what your opponents are doing, but you have to outdo them.
Yeah.
And they think they're gonna win.
Exactly.
Can you imagine that? You're fighting a guy that their team thinks they're gonna beat you.
Yeah.
I mean,
they've been working a game plan, right?
Yeah.
And
studying tape.
And
studying your tapes.
And they think,
Yeah.
and they think they're gonna beat you.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know if they really think they're gonna beat me, but
yeah. So that's, I mean, it's fascinating. It's interesting that you say that because I mean that's where it becomes so mental. Like you really have to just be like unbreakable and be like, you can think whatever you want, but
exactly.
I still got you.
Yeah,
I'm
still gonna take you.
I still know how to, to.
it don't matter. It don't matter what you're gonna do. It don't matter what you think you're gonna do to me because I'm gonna do what the fuck what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Thank you. So I mean that's why I wanted to ask. Thank you for unpacking that because I feel like when I watch a fighter go through such adversity and they lose a fight, it's the way that they come back from that fight that stands out. Like for example, I think about Dominic Cruz when he fought against Cody No Love, and when Cody won the belt that night, it was the speech that Dominic gave afterwards that was like really just like, wow, man, this guy is so humble in defeat, but it's the way that he just articulated his feelings and what he was going through and what he needed to do to move forward.
The people who are happy that I lost right now, that's entertainment. This is a game where if you don't have people that dislike you, then you don't know what it feels like to be liked. And I've definitely had a lot of dislike thrown at me in this game. But I also feel a lot of love. There's some look in the eyes of some kids that I got to see leading into this fight that almost brought tears to my eyes just because I could feel that positive energy from him. That's what this thing's about, is influence on others and making positive influence and making people better around you. I feel like I'm still doing that, win, lose, or draw. That's my goal. That's the gift God gave me, to be able to face some of these athletes, the best in the world, for a very long time. We've seen the best in the world lose it, and we've seen the best in the world gain it back. I've seen Michael Bisping lose countless times, and look at him. He's got the title right now. Whoever thought Michael Bisping would have the title, and he's got it. There's one example. Daniel Cormier lost the title. He's somebody I very much look up to. He's an Olympian. He's a savage. He came back and won the title. This happens, but we're all competitors here, and it's a game of inches. He beat me by a couple inches tonight, and that's okay.
And it was so inspirational, you know, and so that's why I love about fighters and stuff like such as you and guys that deal with adversity, and instead of like making excuses or succumbing to self-doubt, you make moves. You're like, okay, you know what? I'm going to pick up the phone.
You have to.
I'm going to call this psychologist, a sports psychologist or whatever. And, you know, I need to, you know, start. Yeah. And so, I mean, that's
figure out what's going on, what's happening. Like, what I need to do.
Yeah.
So when I see that, I'm like, you know what? You know, maybe I should be doing something like that for my own life. You know what I mean? And it's like, I'm always looking for ways to try to level up and to better myself. And so I use all sorts of different sources of inspiration, and definitely the fight game is like one of my biggest sources of inspiration. So when I watch you guys and I see what you guys do, and I listen to everybody from like GSP, where he talks about how he got a sports psychologist as well, right?
I should connect you with my guy
I
now,
would love
Danny
that.
Patterson, straight up. Like,
okay.
I'm on the street fight win streak, you know. I mean, I've had great fights. I've had fight of the nights. I've knocked fools. I've had crazy fights. Every fight I've ever been in is one of the most entertaining fights. I've fought some of the most. Check out any of the fights.
Oh yeah, your resume is like, you know, no joke.
I've had fights not go my way. I've had fights that should have been a draw and they went their way. I've had fights that were my fight but they went their way. I've had fights in Brazil where I won on 29 of the 30 scorecards and they went the other way. But these last 3 fights, at the same time have my new mental coach, man. Yeah. And these last 3 fights is when I figured it out. I'm telling you. Yeah, these last 3 fights, when I fought Ramiz Brahimaj, was the first fight that I had a good time, that I used my core values and my performance statement and really enjoyed being out there. And yeah, really enjoyed being out there. And was excited about it and was loose and you know, went out there and really had fun out there, like really. Then I go viral and I knock the man's ear off. I'm on World Star, you know, TMZ. I'm on everything, New York Post. I have the kids, TikTok. There's kids, my son, all the kids at school were talking about it. Like, like, oh, man, everyone's talking about this thing. People, I don't even, you know.
I mean, what was that?
And I had fun. And the thing what I'm saying is, that's the first fight that I had fun with this new coach. Like we had core values, and we have to figure out. Everyone's different. Core values is kind of like the Bible for yourself. Like mine, I have like respect, loyalty. There's different things that growth. There's different like words that resonate for me that I had that I have to adhere to be like the best I can be. Being authentic is like my main thing. Authenticity is like being you know. Yeah. And when I'm myself, magic happens, and I, you know. So I've been training. So I've been training, like having fun and enjoying it. Like you're not all pissed off. Why are you all mad? You know what I mean? Yeah. Anyway, but I started training like this, and I'm going to these sparring sessions with these. I mean, I trained at MMA Gold and Team Alpha Male, Marinoble, some of the best guys in the world I'm training against, world champions. So it's hard to kind of just have a good time and not be so tense. And I mean, I go rounds with these guys, and you know, but then once I started, you know, fighting like this with being excited during these rounds, and I'm seeing stuff. I'm being fast. I see stuff coming. I see body movements. I'm putting in work. I'm putting in work, you know, really. So I've been fighting like this, and my dude, you know, knocked the guy's ear off. First time having fun, right? And then and we were only working together for I think like 2 months at that point. And
the mental coach.
Next fight, you know, he gives me some new tools to work on, and we're doing new stuff. I fight Song Keenan. And it's a like co-main event. Co-main event. Co-main event. My first co-main event. I think if I'm fighting a guy who's like on a 4-fight win streak. He's a good ass dude. Song Keenan. And I knock him out.
You did.
Like 2 minutes. And I had more fun. So for me, it's like, hold on. I can't wait. And everything's different. You know what I mean? But my mental coach is the one who got me to be in the right mindset and the right attitude and the right mode to be the best I can be. Wow. And that's what I'm doing. So
that's a game changer.
I'll hook you up with my mental coach. Like not everyone thinks the same, right? Like you guys will have like respect for you. I mean, different than him. I mean, I have to my thing of respect. I have it all on my phone. It's like 4 paragraphs. You know what I mean? It's specific. It's super specific.
And do you read it every day? Is it like a
not every day? I should read it every day.
Okay.
I should read it every day. I see the letters every day.
Okay.
Yeah. I have a grid, like a chart kind of. It's like MPGs in the middle, but then I have all the words in the circle, you know.
Okay.
And my name's in the middle, so like I see it every day.
So how did you decide? Okay, maybe it's time to get a mental coach. Like, how did you?
So I just started going to not just started, but I've been at Team Alpha Male for about almost 2 years now.
Yeah.
And I started going over there when I first started going over there. Michael Malott and Andre Feely were like, "Hey man, you need to talk to your mental coach," you know, because I think the mental coach saw me go over there to working with him now. So he's like, "Oh, Max is there. Like, we need to work with him," you know.
Yeah.
So they were like, "Hey, you know, check your inbox." You know, Malott's like, "Check," you know. He's from Canada. Michael Malott's from Canada. This mental coach is from Canada. So they're friends. They've known each other for a while, but he works with him a lot. And he you know, they were telling me for like months, you know, well, not even that months, maybe like 2 months. Like, I practice. Hey, you talk to the mental coach? Like, whatever, you know. In practice, like I'm running around the mat, you know. Hey, you talk to the mental coach? You know, you should. I'm just like, yeah, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
So finally, like 2 months later, I finally like message him or whatever.
Yeah.
And I call him, he calls me. And I mean, everybody wants to work with me, right? So it's like, why should I like talk to you? You know, basically, why should I talk to you? In a pretty, I wasn't that blunt, but why should I talk to you? Yeah, how can you help me mentally? I mean, I read books. I've been through a lot of shit. I've been through a lot of stuff. My mind's pretty strong. Like, I know what I'm doing, you know, like, but he said this, he's like, let me prove it to you. I was like, okay. He goes, when you have fun, he goes, I watch a bunch of your fights, you know, with the sound off. He's like, I watched how you moved. I watched how you were. He's like, when you had fun, you fought your best. He's like, the Mike Perry fight was one of your best fights. You were smiling. You were moving around. Your David Mitchell fight, you know, you had a good time. Yeah. So I'm thinking in my head, like, he might be right. When I was having fun, it was like the Matrix. When I'm having fun, I see it coming. I'm fast. I'm just there. When you're all, you know, tense and stiff, you're so tight, and you have to let it go to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
You're telegraphed, and you're burning extra energy when you're tense. in general. I mean, when you're hitting a home run, you can't just hold the bat so tight.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Or throwing a ball, you can't just hold your arm tight as you can.
Yeah.
So I was like, he might be right. And then once I started like really diving into that and having more fights like that, you know,
Yeah.
And that was kind of like his proof to me. I'm like, hold on, this guy's onto something.
Yeah.
Let me give him a chance.
Yeah.
And I did. And yeah, he had me make my core values. Such a pain in the butt to make, bro. I've never had to work like that hard, like mentally, kind of.
Like
it took me like a month.
I was gonna say, how many did you have to come up with?
Got me because you said it's tailored to you, right? This is this is about you.
Yeah, I've never had to do this.
Yeah,
and you can't like half-ass it.
Yeah.
I've never ever had to do this, and first you have to find what words like are your core values, and then you have to detailedly write each one of the core values so you could be accountable for each one.
Yeah. No, this is awesome.
It took like a month. It took like a month, like really. And then I had to I'll say like loyalty, right?
Uh-huh.
Then I had to look up loyalty online and figure out what's loyalty mean.
Right.
And there's so many versions of it, so I had to kind of pick words out and tailor it to what loyalty meant to me.
Right. Okay.
You know, growth, courage, discipline, respect. You know.
Yeah.
But once he made me do this, so it's not like he's having you like read some book and like learn some certain things. He's kind of making you like be the master of like yourself.
Yeah.
He's having you come up with the words and your values of your core. He's not making them for you, and he did not help me at all, which I did not like, but it made me actually have to get them. I looked online. Like how the hell do you find core values? Right. I looked on the internet, core values. There's ways to get core values, like even on how do you even know what your values are going to be? If you look, it's like 80, 90, you know what I mean? But there's ways to find out, like who are your best friends?
Yeah.
What are their attributes? Like how do they act? Are they respectful? Are they cool? Are they funny? Like what are their attributes?
Yeah.
You know, do they tell you the truth? Do they lie? You know, do they not keep their words?
Yeah.
And then you think about people you don't like.
Yeah.
People that cheat, steal, grimy people that try to get over on people. Just think about like their values.
Yeah.
And then your values are kind of like the opposite of like those values. So you kind of do this kind of research on yourself on, you write your 5 best friends and, say their traits. He's dependable. He's this.
That's interesting.
Yeah, this is fascinating. No,
it's stuff I've never had to do.
Yeah. This is deep. This is a deep introspective look, a dive into yourself, and this. And then examining your friends like that. I mean, as you're saying all this, I'm thinking about people that I know that I'm close to and stuff. Yeah, this is fascinating because I've never done that.
Yeah,
I've never done that either.
Yeah, this is an amazing exercise.
I mean, you say certain things in your mind of how you may think of somebody or whatever, but in terms of writing it down, there's probably things that you may have realized that you didn't think of that person before. You're like, oh, wait a second.
Maybe there's some attributes about your friends that you like that you're like, I need to, maybe if I could just be a little bit more like that,
Throw that in the mix.
Yeah, because we all have a friend. Yeah, like I have my brother and I have a homie, Jesus. Shout out Jesus. He is a total people person, and he just knows how to get along with everybody. He's always been like that, and now that we're older, it's served him well. I mean, he's got a fat network. He knows all these people. If he needs some, to get some done at his house or, whatever it is. I mean, he knows how to plug it or get to it and stuff. And I really admire that about him. So I always tell myself, okay, I need to push myself to network harder and work on maybe some of those attributes and stuff that would make me more likable or whatever it is, But yeah, this is amazing. So I could see how
stuff.
Yeah, how it could take like a month.
It did.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't a pain in the ass to do, but it was. It was like, what am I on now? You know, loyalty. What am I on? Growth. I'm thinking like, you know, I'll read you guys one of these.
Yeah, go
if
for
you
it.
have time.
Absolutely,
for sure.
Because they all mean stuff to different people. You know. I'll read two maybe. All right, loyalty. This is what loyalty means to me. Positive and transparent. Character and integrity. Consistent approach in your whole life. Trust is built in your whole team. Loyalty is reciprocated. Having a sense of pride in what you do. Always follow through and no shortcuts. Putting in the time and effort into doing all the little things correctly. Always following the plan to its entirety. Paying attention specifically to detail. All right. That's one of them.
That's loyalty, right?
That's loyalty.
Yeah, that's
craft.
deep, man. Yeah, I like that.
So I'm running the whole mile. Like, I'm not running like 99% of it. You know?
Yeah. That's what I heard. I heard follow through.
All the way through completion.
Yeah, staying committed and following through is kind of what I got from that. And that's like, your definition of loyalty.
Yeah,
Don't half-ass.
This growth one's good. Growth. Consistent evolution, evolving. Constant learning opportunities. Embrace challenges. Effort is the path of mastery. Hard work is constant. Criticism is embraced, not feared. Pain and suffering leads to the pursuit of greatness. Learning, opportunities, and solutions is your primary focus. Take inspiration from leaders. Willing to take risk and always, always, always ask questions. Be comfortable in the uncomfortable. Embrace the difficult decisions that others run from. That's how you grow.
Man, that's what's up, man.
That's deep.
Yeah, I was resonating with all of that right there. Yeah, this is very much in line with just the same type of attributes that leaders have. This is, very leadership stuff. I mean, so thank you for sharing that with us. I mean, that's dope. Yeah. I was going to ask you, did you watch that episode with Joe Rogan where he had Jason Wilson on from The Cave?
I don't think so.
So so Jason Wilson was a guy who his video went viral because he's got this dojo he calls The Cave. And there's a lot of young men, that go there, a lot of kids and stuff. And there's a viral video that he had on there about this young guy who he was trying to punch, I think, with his left hand through.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
One of his boards, and he was kind of pulling his punch. He was kind of like doubting himself as he was throwing it because he's a right-handed guy. And
the
video went viral because of the lesson that was that followed, that whole thing.
A martial arts instructor.
Yeah, where Jason Wilson was like kind of questioning, why are you pulling your punch? Why are you crying and this and that?
Oh, the
and
kid?
He said,
the kid.
Oh, I see that.
Yeah. It was a powerful video and stuff. So then, as a result, that guy was on
Joe's show
and stuff. And so I was watching it, and I wrote down a couple of things about some of the stuff that Jason said. One of them was, he said, as men, we don't release frustration and anger in a healthy way. And, I read, which is so true, right?
It's true.
And I feel like, especially living in Sacramento
Really
and stuff, especially in light of everything going on, I mean, you could really feel like the frustration and the anger that's out there and stuff, the tension.
With everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody's pissed off.
So, part of why we want to do this podcast is because we want to hopefully provide some kind of value and maybe spark some ideas out there about how people can make some changes in their life, to live more healthy and
channel the frustration.
They need to train. Look, when I'm hurt, and I can't train, I'm pissed off. I'm used to choking people out. I'm used to beating stuff up.
Yeah.
When I can't, I get irritated.
Yeah.
So people that don't do it got to be irritated all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
Unless I'm just crazy. I mean,
no, I can understand though. I mean, it's if you don't have.
But I get to, and I.
Yeah, you get to let it out. Right?
Yeah,
you get to channel
all
your
the time.
energy.
All the time.
Yeah, so,
And I get pissed off.
Yeah.
Still. You know?
Yeah. I mean, and as a young, aggressive man, I mean, in this world that we're living, we're going through a lot of crap right now. I mean, shit.
Everybody.
It's nice to be able to just, take out some frustrations on a heavy bag or something like that. Or if you've got, some sparring partners and stuff. I mean, I really miss that about training and stuff. It's been a long time, but
I'm down to get some rounds with y'all.
Shoot. That would be amazing.
We'd be honored.
Humbled. Yeah. Just grateful, I mean, shit.
I'm down.
Yeah. I mean, we love it.
Amazing. Yeah. I mean, because,
y'all like bigger,
Yeah.
How much y'all weigh?
About 185 right now. Yeah.
170.
Perfect.
Yeah. What do you, I mean, of course.
I'm 200 pounds.
Yeah. I was going to say it. Yeah. Without cutting weight. Right? Yeah.
Yeah. That's another thing too about the UFC. I mean, not only are you fighting against, like the top guys, but it seems like these guys, they just know how to cut weight. They know how to, I mean,
that's like a science in itself.
Yeah, they walk around way bigger, right?
Well, I mean,
you guys walk around way bigger.
Yeah.
You guys
I'm at
cut.
170.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you get down to 170, which is crazy.
171.
And you're just knocking people out. I mean, no, but what's so dope about this whole conversation, though, is just the fact that, you really identified what you needed to do. You took some chances, even when you felt like, I don't know. I mean, how is this guy going to help me?
Am I supposed to, should I talk to this dude? Is it really going to help? Is it?
Yeah. And then when he said, let me prove it to you, you were open-minded enough to say, well, let's do it.
I think that's my growth thing. I'm down to grow. You have to learn. You have to learn, man. Yeah. I'm always wanting to learn. Like I feel like you never know everything.
Yeah.
Never.
Well, and if you're not.
Some people think they know everything.
Yeah. Well, you'll never grow.
So
you'll
true.
never learn.
So true.
There's a lot of people like that, but you'll never grow.
Most people are like that. Most people think they know everything.
Yeah.
You never stop learning.
I don't know anything. I don't know nothing. Yeah. I'm like a little seed. I mean, I'm more than a seed now. I'm like a little plant, but I don't know much.
I feel like we're always students, though.
You have to.
Totally.
You have to.
Yeah.
If you don't, you're just blocking all your stuff.
Absolutely.
You're blocking all your blessings, bro.
You can never know.
Blocking all your blessings. That's
blocking
exactly.
your blessings, bro.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
For real.
Quote that.
No, it's true. I mean, some people are they're so ignorant, that they don't allow themselves to be exposed to new and different knowledge. I mean, I'm always seeking things that, man. I'm always trying to find the next thing that's going to blow my mind.
Kinda
that's
like
what I love. I love when I get my mind blown.
Well, Max said a moment ago too. Always ask questions.
Always ask questions.
But even like the anxiety stuff and depression, right?
Yeah. That's real.
When you're anxious, you're thinking about the future, right?
Yeah.
And when you're depressed, you're thinking about the past.
Yeah.
You're creating it for yourself. You need to live in the present.
Yes.
Now, when you're now, what's always now.
Yeah.
Right. But people are thinking about the future, the past. Like,
the
magic happens when you live in the moment, and you're not, because we don't know what's gonna happen.
Exactly.
We don't know.
That's true.
We think we know, and if you think we know, you're kind of blocking what could happen because we don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah. Nobody can be an absolute.
No one really knows. Yeah. You can have a kind of guess what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Have a plan, but we don't really know.
Yeah.
And what you
live well, I mean, essentially, you just can't live your life in fear.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. And that's part of being in the present, right? Yeah,
live in the present.
Yeah, no, that's huge because what's so crazy is it's a simple concept and it sounds easy to do, but I mean, I have to remind myself constantly, like, okay, just be in the present moment. Whether I'm talking to maybe I'm on a date or something with a girl, I have to remind myself to be in the moment. So I'm having fun. Yeah. And it kind of goes back to what you said about
fighting.
Yeah. When you're able to be in the moment, and
enjoy what you're doing.
And then just enjoy this and soak it all in.
And
now you're in the fight, you're having fun.
Yeah.
And you're aligned with all your core values. Yeah. The magic happens.
Like you feel like nothing can stop you.
That's literally what you said right there. And that's everything. Yeah. Really, that's amazing. Yeah. I mean,
it's a game changer.
Yeah, because sometimes we talk about this at
cheat codes.
Yeah, cheat codes in life.
Oh yeah, bro. Yeah, but it's not a cheat code because you're working for it.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but you have people don't want to put the work in, bro.
Everybody wants a shortcut.
People don't want to put the work in. You can't do shortcuts, bro.
Yeah. What are some things that you do to stay committed? Especially when you're feeling like the fatigue or
work out today.
Maybe I'll put it off to tomorrow and stuff. I mean, do you just not allow that?
I do so much different stuff. But I listen to my body too, though.
Yeah,
I'm listening to my body.
Okay,
I do 4 things a day. If it's alpha male in the morning, then I'm going to swim, and then I'm going to jiu-jitsu at night, or I'm going to hit pads, or I'm going to grade on the bike, or I'm going to go on a run, or I'm going to do weights in the garage, or sometimes I don't feel like doing something, you know, or my leg hurts, so I'm not going to do this, or I'm not going to do jiu-jitsu. I do this instead. I like replace stuff with stuff. If I don't do something, I do something else. I'll read something during that time, or you know, I feel like there's always something you can do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even when you're hurting stuff.
Well, and you're a father too, so I mean that, you know, that's a huge commitment in itself. Aside from just being an all around athlete.
Yeah, man, my kids are crazy. Julian's 10, Tyrus is 6 months. They're a trip, you know. They're a trip, but you know, I'm training with them there at the house, and there's always a way to get it done. COVID kind of made it like you got to get the job done. You know, gyms closed, right? COVID happened. So do I not work? Do I not train? Do you know what I mean?
Schools are closed.
But for me as a fighter, right?
Yeah, you have to keep.
Am I still having fights? Gyms were closed. There was places where the whole gyms whole things were closed up. Yeah. So do I train in my garage? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
really?
Yeah. And you gotta
pivot.
So this is what you do for a living. So it's like, okay, you don't. You have to.
Yeah.
So we were sneaking around training. You know.
Yeah.
Behind closed doors, parking in the back, like.
Yeah. That's
you know.
Yeah, that's real shit right there.
Really?
Because I mean, you guys couldn't take time off. You're still. I mean, like Dana White, obviously he opened up Fight Island. And
they called me for a fight.
Yeah, just kept.
They called me. I had to turn it down. They called me for a fight. It was like a bullshit like fight kind of. It was like a week's notice. I was like right when I was like, I'm not gonna make it like this week.
Is that like right when the pandemic hit? Last year
yeah. March, April, May. It was like May or something. Yeah. It was like mid-pandemic.
Yeah, and you guys are just pivoting on, like you said, like, okay, now the gyms are closed, but we still got to work out. So it's just so many things were happening.
I was doing a lot of stuff in the garage, doing a lot of stuff on my own, doing a lot of stuff privately, like back then. But you could figure it out. Anything can get done. That's what a lot of people are figuring out working from home. Like, you don't have to be in front of the person to get the job done. I mean, it does. I mean, there is, I guess, more friendliness or human element in person. But I feel like I know people online, and you know, I don't know. It is what it is. Like, you can still get the stuff done.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah. There's always a way to get it done.
Absolutely.
If you hurt your hand, moral of the story: if your hand hurts, throw your left hand. If your foot hurts, don't kick. If your back hurts, read something. You know what I mean? There's always something you could do. Think about this. Punching with only one hand or one side, and like doing like a submission or something, only on one side. I use the arm bar on one side. You know, you gotta be able to do both hands.
Yeah, that's so important for jiu-jitsu, right?
You know?
Yeah.
And it, I mean, it helps with defense. It helps with offense. When I really started switching, I really started getting those angles, boy. Yeah.
So do you have 2 black belts or 3?
1, 2, I think 3.
Dang. I mean, that's what I read on Wikipedia. I'm like, dang,
Wikipedia.
you know, so I mean, you know, 3 black belts. Like, wow.
I have.
What are they in?
I have my one when I was young. That's in Bak Fu. And then when I'm an adult, it's Marinoble's fighting system. I'm a 2nd degree black belt at Marinoble's fighting system, and Marinoble's kickboxing, which is recognized by the IKF Federation.
Yeah,
so
International Kickboxing Federation.
Yeah. That's what's up, man. So the discipline's been there. So did this discipline, was it just learned from maybe your father, or what kind of influences? Like, who was influential in your life early on?
I think just being in there,
just being at the dojo,
being
right?
at the dojo.
Okay,
it's all respect.
Yeah,
weapon in sheath. You know, your martial arts is like a treasure in your pocket. They used to tell us.
Yeah,
you know, I remember that right now. I don't remember that in like 30 years. I have like a hell of memory, you know.
Yeah,
we wanted to ask you about like some of your inspirations, and you know,
as you talk about your dad got you into martial arts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Let's see, my inspirations. I funnily didn't have too many inspirations, you know. Funny thing, like inspiration, like I found like myself inspirational, like what I knew, like what I can do. Like I inspired myself, you know what I mean?
Just believing in yourself.
Yeah, like that. My self belief was that strong that like that's who I looked up to. You know what I mean? I mean, my mom like worked a lot. Like I learned stuff. My mom like always worked. You know, so I think I'm real nice because of her. You know,
Yeah.
I think I got like that from her. My dad was there when I was young, but he left when I was 13.
Okay.
So I had to like take care of my brothers.
Some of the stuff that you talked about earlier in terms of fighting and whatnot is the ability to stay calm, right? When you're having fun and you're relaxed, right? And that can apply to so many different areas in life. You know what I mean? Just the ability to stay calm under pressure. We wanted to ask you, like, for like the young men out there that are tuning in, the young women and stuff, you know, I mean, everyone's dealing with something. We all struggle to try to aspire to, you know, our dreams and our goals and stuff. What are maybe some things that you can impart on these young people that tune into our show and stuff? Because we really want it to be about, you know, just inspiration and motivation and not giving up.
And you are a huge inspiration to many.
Yeah, you embody
ourselves,
that. So,
You know, you really can't do anything you want to do. How hard do you want to work to do it? You know, I mean, when I made my choice to be one of the best in the world, I went all in with it. I believed in it. And yeah, I worked 2 jobs, you know, full-time jobs. I trained in the morning. I trained like on lunch. I trained late at night. I did that for like 10 years or however long. I remember going back, even in the UFC, you know, when I was first there, I'm like, I got to go back to work. They'd be like, you work? Just knock some guy out, you know, and go back to my job.
yeah.
You know what I mean? But you have to believe it. You have to believe it. I mean, I believed it. And, you know, not everyone believed in me. Not everyone thought I could do it, and not everyone will.
Yeah.
And that's for any dream you have.
Yeah.
Not everyone's. Don't expect people to believe in you. You know, I did. I mean, that's just extra. You know.
Yeah.
But you have to believe in yourself. But yeah, don't give up. Be resilient. It is gonna get hard. You know. My road has been the hard road, and I could easily give up, easily quit.
Yeah.
Quitting's easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Quitting's easy. You know, you have to do your best, you know. But yeah, be nice to people. I feel like too, you know, the nicer you are to other people, the better energy you have, the better things happen to you.
Yeah.
You know, stop being jealous of people. Stop having bad thoughts for people. So there's negative energy, and you're getting the same thing back to you.
Yeah.
So, be a good person too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that quote they say? Like, put out what you want to receive. Obviously, right?
Yeah. Treat others how you want to be treated. Yeah. I mean, it's all just
same idea.
Yeah. What goes around comes around. You know, and then I've heard you say in other interviews too, just how you have this drive to constantly get better.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's kind of one of those motivating factors, like, you know, and you could see it in your fights too.
Yeah.
I mean, each fight you're like still improving.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's what's like,
it's
you know, scary. If I had to, like, you know, face someone like that, oh my God, you know, it's just you're constantly leveling
up
That's
every
next,
fight.
man.
and that's, you know, I'm guessing that's probably why you push yourself to work out sometimes twice a day or 3 times a day or whatever it is. And you stay committed for, you know, a long period of time, over 10 years and over 5 years in the UFC now. And, you know, you're on track to being a champion. And so we just really wanted to express our gratitude for you stopping by and sharing your mindset, you know, sharing some of the tools that you've found that have worked for you and have helped you to level up and to get to where you're at today, because, you know, it's all evident. It's all, you know, we see what you're doing, and we're just thrilled to see it, and we want to see you go all the way, man. I mean, we really do believe in you, and you know, we want to see you become the next champion. Yeah, you got this, Max. And thank you so much,
Max,
appreciate
for coming
you
in and
thank
chilling
you
with
guys.
us. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
that was dope.
Well, that's it. So, you know, make sure you guys, if you like what you heard, slap that like button, you know, hit the share, and leave some comments. Let us know what you think, and make sure you follow Max. Where can they find you, Max?
What's your socials?
Max Pain Griffin. Max Pain Griffin, one word, MAX Pain, like you're going to get hurt. Griffin. So that's on everything. And we'll link it all, you know, below in the description and everything. So make sure you guys follow him and support this guy. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.